And hello, good people of the internet. It is I, Tommy Kelly, and this is Adventures in Woo Woo. And in this episode, what I would do is I would do a card reading, a 47's reading, for the coronavirus and see what's going on. Now, as with all readings, we only take this. I was going to say not to take it seriously, but that's not what I mean. We can take it seriously, just don't be too serious about it. In that it's not the word of God, or it's not I don't have access to the defined plan. And what I always think of as readings is kind of a snapshot for start, meaning that as soon as you do a reading, it changes the future. Anyway, but more as kind of advice from a friend. So say you have someone whose opinion you respect, and you go to them with a problem and they tell you something. And you can get, a different perspective and a kind of different view on it and a bit of help and a bit of feedback. But it's not the word of God. It's not, it's not the one true way or anything like that. So that's how I tend to view readings. Still find it very useful. So I don't know what my exact question should be. What do we need to know about the coronavirus and the weeks ahead? Okay. So, the protector. So I mean that's fairly obvious. We need to protect ourselves. We need to make sure our things we're following the procedures that are believed to be the things that will stop this thing from spreading too far. And and we have a kind of a thing that we feel, and going by social media, that it's all a bit of a hoax, a bit of a mess. This is too severe for what it actually is. It's just a bit of a flu. But I mean, what harm is it going to be really to you, to kind of chill out and stay indoors and all that? Now, I know I'm very aware of all of the kind of business element things and the financial stuff and the loneliness and all of these things. I mean, what harm is there to it? A lot of harm. But what harm is it compared to what could be the outcome that could be given to us if we don't follow these things? If we don't try at least to try to pull back, the tides of this thing spreading and stuff like that. So protect yourself. But that also, I suppose, would mean protect yourself emotionally, mentally, as well as physically. So make sure that you do have your safeguards put in place for your mental health, for your emotional health, for, all your different needs, not just your toilet paper. Have all of your things kind of looked after, your social needs as well, and don't spend so much time on social media if it's starting to depress you and panic you and stuff like that. But, enough time, a perfect balance of enough time to check in with people, make sure everyone's okay, make sure you're okay, and but follow the procedures. Let's do this thing. We've no real choice anyway. So that's my reading on the protector. And I know it's easy for me to say, given that I spend all day in quarantine anyway. Oh, card is jumping out. 2 cards is jumping out. The first one is the Levitator. And the Levitator suggests you rise above it all, that you don't succumb to the kind of panic that is going on, that you don't get embedded in the kind of misery or the when everyone's going insane and everyone's losing their minds and all that, that you try to rise above the situation and see it from a higher perspective, from a greater perspective, and keep your kind of approach to the whole thing that's unfolding, while, be grounded in reality, but don't get too bogged down in the hysteria. See it from a bigger picture. See it from, we're doing these things and it's not aimed at you or it's not aimed at your community because we're a global type thing, we're global people. We're trying to help everyone, not just our own well-being. And while it's a bit kind of hard to see things from the greater, bigger perspective, it's worthwhile in this situation to keep an eye on that we're not just seeing it from our own little kind of point of light, that we see it from the greater light, and not to get bogged down, stress, not to get bogged down in the hysteria and the panic and stuff like that. And take each day as it comes and each challenge as it comes, and go from there. And the final card is the Seer, and this would suggest that you go with your intuition on things. If you feel sick, go with that, or just kind of go with your gut and this kind of thing. So it's seeing, there's something I'm not getting about this. It's more than just if you feel, yeah, don't leave anything to chance. You know, don't leave, if you've been told certain things by people around you, whatever, or no, don't do that, or whatever, and you have a deep gut feeling about something, go with your gut and just feel it out too, while still taking the kind of advice of protecting yourself and rising above the panic and hysteria. But I don't think it's kind of saying rising above the panic and hysteria to do your own type of thing, you know, kind of fuck the government, I'm gonna go and sneeze in a load of children. I don't think it's saying that, but it's like just that if you have a kind of a sense of something, then, you know, to be aware of it, you know, with the kind of caveat that you have to, you know, stay protected, and you have to see it from the bigger picture and all of these type things that we've talked about. I mean, that reading is kind of, it's very on the nose. It's not anything new. It's, you know, it's the 47s telling us exactly what everyone else is telling us, I suppose, just to protect yourself. Don't give in to the panic. And if you have a kind of a feeling and a gut feeling around it, be okay to kind of, you know, trust yourself in these things. That's it. This is what it is. Trust yourself within all of this. Don't lose yourself. This is what the seer is saying. Don't lose yourself to the panic. Don't lose yourself to overprotecting or the whole thing that's going on, to the hysteria, the whole thing. Trust, still remember, trust yourself within all of these things. So that's the reading for today. And be well, good people of the internet, and look after yourself and look after the people around you. These are trying times, and it's easy to panic and it's easy to feel the fear, but we won't. We'll continue and we'll pursue our dreams and we'll keep going. Until next time, be well.